Hello, hello, welcome to Radish and Bunday's podcast of retro games and things. How you doing, John?
Good, thanks. How you doing, James?
Not too bad. It feels like we're getting deep into the year already.
I know it feels like Christmas was long ago.
I know, and I suppose it is nearly. We're a bit late. It's March tomorrow, isn't it? So
As of recording, not
as of
when you
recording,
hear this.
this shouldn't be too far behind. I got the last one out quite quickly, but yeah. So we are on to game 2 of the year. But we'll get into that in a minute because we are going to talk about what we've been playing. So I'll let you go first, John.
So before we started recording, I was playing a game that I have mentioned, I think, in several episodes. The last probably 2 episodes, I think, of the show, and that is Grand Theft Auto 4, because I still haven't beaten it. Because I haven't been treating it as like the main game I'm playing. I've been doing like missions in between playing other games. So, whereas I feel like I actually want to beat it. So I think looking at like a list of all the missions, I think I'm about hopefully around 3/4 of the way through. So, and the missus is away for a couple of weeks. So I'm trying to hopefully try and get through that over the next couple of days. Hopefully,
living the dream there, John. Having a couple of weeks to do whatever you want. I'm guessing you've got the kids there.
Yes, I have the kids, so it's a balance.
Not perfect. Then you could have had some real kind of go back to your uni days and playing games like all day and all night in your pants.
And also be able to have a lion. That'd be brilliant, and not get woke up during the night with children.
I can't remember the last time I had a lion. It felt like it was a decade ago, but it probably was 8 years ago at least, I'd imagine.
Need the missus to take our children away so we can actually have time.
How inconsiderate! Tell her to take the kids with her.
I know, it's disgraceful, really.
But is it Nico Bellic? Is that the name of the dude? Yes. Yeah, I did really enjoy GTA 4. It felt more serious, maybe than the older ones. But
I think there's less. Humor is not the right word, but I think like the tone is definitely more serious because you are on like a mission of revenge, and like you're an immigrant to America, so you're also dealing with that as well. Because it's not just like you're part of like in San Andreas where you are part of like a all the local gangs. Here's like you're trying to break in, and then like I'll do stuff for you, but then you keep getting screwed over by everyone. So it's just like great, yay. Yeah, because I've never played 5, because I was speaking to someone else about this a couple of weeks ago, and they were saying about that for them 4 going back to playing 4 is in the controls.
Yeah,
they're quite rough compared to 5 now. Whereas these 6 I haven't played 5. I'm just like sure it is what it is.
5 is amazing. I think I've finished all the GTAs, bar funny enough San Andreas.
Oh really?
Because I think it came out at just a time I maybe wasn't buying games much. Vice City is probably, rose tinted specs and all, probably my favorite. But I think 5 is my second. 5 is really good. And with 6 looming, possibly this year. I don't think you'll be worrying too much about GTA 6 there, John.
No, I won't. But have you heard the news about Vice City?
What? No.
So
isn't that 6 though?
Well, yeah, okay. 6 is set in Vice City, but no, actual Vice City, the game. So for those who follow the homebrew scene, there's a team who have now made completable from start to finish of GTA 3 on the Dreamcast. So you need to have the ability to play like off an SD card or something. You can't just put it onto a disc. I'm assuming it's too large because the PS2 was DVD, whereas the Dreamcast was GD ROM, maybe.
Some weird format, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it wasn't the size of a DVD is what I'm getting at. So I think I assume you can't just put it onto a CD, for example. You have to have it off a SD card. Anyway, but the team who've made that have now shown off like the opening because they now got Vice City running, as in like they're making the Vice City version. So
that's pretty cool.
You can play Vice City on your Dreamcast if you want to. So
that is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I suppose Dreamcast wasn't that dissimilar, was it? Spec-wise, I know the PS2 was more powerful, but
I mean, this all kicked off because one of the devs of like GTA 3 and all that said, like, yeah, we were making it for the Dreamcast until, you know, the console died, and then I was like, well, we shifted to the PS2.
Well, bloody hell. That might have changed things a little bit.
So that's what then kicked some homebrew devs to then, you know,
port it over.
Yeah, exactly.
That is cool.
Yeah, if you look up on YouTube, there's loads of videos on it now. So
I have to look that up because that I never even thought about. I wouldn't mind seeing it see how it would run on the GameCube. Presumably, pretty well, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to have
40 discs, 40 of those little discs.
Yeah, well, or off an SD card. So.
Oh yeah. What's it called? It's fucking Swiss cheese or something. I can't remember. I've got it, yeah, but Swiss, I can't remember. Swiss something.
Yeah, because I've got it as well. So
Swiss Army knife.
There's also a hack of Super Mario Sunshine coming out, which is like,
oh, is it the Eclipse one?
That might be it. It's like where it's new levels and things like that.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've been excited for that. So I presume you can run it on Dolphin.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can run an emulator, but I was, you know, because I got the GameCube and all that, I thought I'd eventually try and actually play it. Maybe see if there's any bugs in the ironed out, but yeah, it'd be cool to actually, because the idea of doing like GameCube homebrew was quite cool. Because someone else has made, or maybe it's the same team, had previously made a different hack of Sunshine, which is more like quality of life. For example, when you find all the shines, rather than kicking you out of the level and you have to go back in, you're free to carry on around that level. So like if you want to then collect all the red coins or blue coins, whatever it was, and then
those
go and get other shines coins, you can then do it all in one sitting rather than having to keep coming out, coming in, and having to deal with the same enemies over and over again and stuff. So, and things like that is what I mean. So it's more like a quality of life update if you want to. So I haven't played it, but I've seen it, the trailer for it, a year, 2 years ago. So
I think it's out, John. I'm pretty
that
sure
one
it is.
Yeah, it's Sunburn. I think it's called Super Mario Sunshine Sunburn.
I might need to have a dabble with that. I love Sunshine.
Same.
I know loads of people moan about it, but I think it's an absolutely brilliant game with the best water ever. Awesome water effects.
I haven't played it since I completed it years ago. I've still got my copy, but yeah, I love playing through it. You know, completed it, got all 120 shines. So
yeah, I bought the 3D All Stars pack when it first came out. You know, the 64 Sunshine and Galaxy, and I finished all three of them actually, and it was, I suppose, around all the lockdowns and stuff, and my kids absolutely loved watching me play Sunshine. It was too hard for them to play at the time, but they absolutely loved it. It's the one they just like, the water pistol ones, Sunshine, just automatically drawn to it, and again played through it, still loved it. I still think it looks damn good as well. So yeah, more Sunshine is only a good thing in my eyes.
I wasn't intending for us to talk about GameCube homebrew games, but here we are.
John, we go with the sort of
tangents lead.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to follow these leads and tangents and go all over the place.
So, what games have you been playing?
You're actually very lucky I've made it here tonight, John, because there was a game. Do you know what game came out?
I read your message on the RPG WhatsApp chat, so I was thinking, did we book the wrong night for this?
Yeah, but I felt like I couldn't let you down. And I've had a day off today, so I've managed to get a couple of hours in, and it came early, so I played it last night, so I was okay. So I've got it a little bit out of my system, but it is Monster Hunter Wilds for the PS5. I've got it for, and yeah, it's fucking amazing. I'm not gonna. I've seen stuff on Reddit, and people moaning that it doesn't. Performance is shite. That it's maybe a bit ropey looking. I think it looks great and it works great. It's more Monster Hunter, but I think it's either I'm better at them because I have played quite a few of them now, probably since the Wii one try.
Yeah.
But I'm going through it quickly already. I'm hammering through it. But I think it looks amazing. It's super fun. I would say in like Rise, the Switch one, I was killing a monster on average. It could take you 20 minutes easily, even on sort of the earlier monsters. This one seems to be super quick, like 10 minutes, you're downing a monster. And I always tend to be quick play style, whether it be like dual blades. I've done a lot of the bow, but this time, John, I've gone for a lance.
Okay. And how is that?
It's actually quite fun because you can just stand there and absolutely smash them poke them with your big stick, and you've got a shield, so you're kind of defensive as well as offensive, and I'm enjoying that. And I think on this one, I'm going to learn to play all the different roles that I've never bothered with. So it is looking really good, and from a PS5 perspective, it's running really well. I think maybe a lot of the problems are based with the PC version, possibly.
Okay.
And the PC crowd are a tough one to please anyway, aren't they?
Well, I mean, it's just, I know from historically, PC ports have tended to be a bit ropey, as in like the devs, even because they haven't had the time to try and like meet a deadline, they've concentrated on like the console ports. Like, in other words, there was consoles where they put all their effort in and then ported to PC because they had to, but they didn't have the time to like refine it for the various different, processors, graphics cards, available memory. Because with the PS4/PS5 or the Xbox, whatever, like it is set hardware. You haven't got people like having different configurations. So I think Batman Arkham City not Arkham City, sorry, Arkham Knight, I think was a bit of a shit show for PC at release. Whereas like with certain AAA titles, you would think, hang on, either you should have the resources to do this well, or delay the PC port until you have ironed all this stuff out. Otherwise, it's just you get such negative reviews and like backlash and all that. But
I think they have. I think Capcom have had a lot of really shitty Steam reviews, but I don't know.
Actually, because it's quite interesting when you look at the review, you see when you go to a Steam store page, on the right hand side, you see that there is two different review statistics. One is recent and all time. And it's always interesting to see the ones where it is recent is very positive or positive, and then all time is either mixed or bad, because then you could see, there's probably been like patches or updates that have dealt with the problems that the bad reviews were talking about before. At least, it gives you hope that the game has actually been improved since when it launched.
I think it's with a PC game is you've got to be aware that have they updated the graphics drivers? Because I saw on Reddit people saying, have you updated your fucking graphics card? Probably not. And this was early, so the day one patch they may not have had it. I don't know. I had a day one patch, but and that was last night even. But yeah, it does make you wonder, doesn't it? There's a lot more finer points to get right potentially. And apparently Dragon's Dogma 2, which is the RE engine as well, had quite a lot of problems at launch. So maybe an engine problem, maybe more geared for the consoles, which it probably is, but it sold a fuck ton on PC.
Well, in which case then they should...
There was nearly a million on it. There's nearly 1 million players on it on Steam last night.
Really?
I'm sure. Oh, fuck! I could be plucking that from thin air, but it was like the biggest. You've got the concurrent players. I'm sure it was like 900 and something thousand players, which is like, whoa! I don't see that
a lot.
That's
a lot. Concurrent.
It's huge now. Monster Hunter's huge. Since World and Rise, it's changed it completely. And and I think that's going with the theme of it, maybe getting a bit easier, a little less weird. So it's a bit more straightforward, but it's we're looking at probably for me a minimum of 100 hours put into that over the course of the year. And then there'll be DLC. There's always Monster Hunter DLC, which gets really fucking hard. So I've got a Sunbreak for the Switch, which is the Rise one. I've still never got to it because I need to put another 20 hours in on Rise to bloody get to Sunbreak. I've got to do all these things. So that's for another day, John. When I feel up to it.
Does this count as an RPG?
Monster Hunter, 100%. It's definitely an RPG.
RPG challenge.
Yeah, I'll have one done for the year.
More than Tolk.
That's true, and I did. Was it 4 last year? 4 more than him. So I'm on a good. Yeah, mind you, I haven't heard from him for a while.
No, I wonder if he real life, real world has been quite busy for him, like his family and all that.
Oh, possibly he's been banned from the internet by the half or something for I don't know. But yeah, it's a big game. I think story-wise, I probably can knock it out in 20 hours, I'm guessing. But if I was to see everything, I think we're looking at 100+ hours. Maybe more.
The idea of playing like a game that is that long to me just seems, even though I'm doing the 12 RPG challenge, a 100-hour game is just like, I mean, there are games I've put 100 hours into, but I don't start the game thinking I'll play that much. It's like, say, Streets of Rage 4, but that's over the course of like, however long the game's been released, it's doing different sessions. It's not like start to finish, that was how long. And also I played Final Fantasy 13, I think. I got to maybe 100 hours because I was trying to get an achievement for like getting everyone up to like max level. So I was grinding, but I was also watching like TV at the same time. So it was like I was just binging TV series while also just grinding enemies. So it was, whereas I feel like with Monster Hunter, you probably have to pay a bit more attention to it.
I don't know, John. When you get to sort of get into it, you're potentially just playing almost autopilot because you're just hunting maybe the same monsters to get certain gear because you're kind of just gearing up for the high rank stuff. So I don't know. It's sort of like I probably did it like maybe on the weekend. I'd have a Saturday night. I'd play it for a couple of hours, do a couple of quests, couple of monsters, and try and maybe get a new piece of armor, new upgrade on a weapon, and I'd do that. I'd have like phases. I'd do that for a couple of months and drop off and come back. And I think I came back to it about 3 or 4 times last time, and I suspect I'll probably do the much the same now. Finish the main quest, probably hammer it for a good 20 hours again, and then maybe drop off, and then they'll maybe release a new monster for free that'll bring me back in. But it's if you ever get a chance, I wouldn't recommend the older ones because I've played the older ones. But I think if it was me, I'd probably start on Monster Hunter World, which is the PS4 version, because I think it's a really good jumping in point. But this looks very good for those of you that are new to Monster Hunter and you want to start or jump into your first one. But I can't imagine there's many people now who are gamers who haven't tried it.
Well, it's a very popular series now. I mean, like everyone's.
It is, and I think it's getting bigger as well. So it's keeping Capcom in business and funding other stuff, hopefully. So we shall see. What about you, John? Anything else?
Well, I'm going
was
to
it GTA?
Send you because there was someone. There's a fanzine that I do. I write articles for, and in the most recent one, somebody was actually talking about their history with the franchise, so that was making me think because they're talking about like starting with like the PSP one, I think it was. So I've just screenshotted the relevant pages, and I'm going to send them to you on WhatsApp so that when you
WhatsApp is it?
Yeah, I mean you have to read them out. I'm saying it like because it's you might find it interesting is what I'm trying to say. So it's someone's history with it. So
a Monster Hunter related.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I mean. It's Monster Hunter like when they started with the series. So
I should have a look at that.
That's been sent to you. So a couple of days ago, I beat my third RPG of the year, which was South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Yes, I did see you'd done that. I enjoyed that myself. What did you think?
I really enjoyed it. I think though for people, it will come down to whether or not they enjoy South Park as a show.
Yeah.
Like, if you hate the humor, then you won't enjoy this because yes, there's an RPG and you're doing fights and things like that, and turn-based combat, but all the humor, even like the magic, for example, like it's farts at the end of the day. So it's like
there's some crazy stuff in that game.
Yes, I mean the PC port had none of the wasn't when it was released. There was some content which was banned in certain countries, including the UK.
I'm not surprised.
So I think I don't know if this then got changed or not, but at least on PC, none of the content was removed. So because I don't want to say stuff and give away plot points, because if people go and play it, I want them to experience it for the first time. But yeah, so okay, let's take a step back. I haven't watched South Park for years now, but I watched it like up until this game was released as well, and then beyond that. And I remember when they actually announced in the show that the game was coming out, because the way that everyone's dressed up, it was they did like a Game of Thrones parody for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One release. And it was like Microsoft versus Sony, and the kids trying to decide which console they should go for. And then that was like, and then at the end of like this 2 or 3 parter episode, it was okay. Well, why do we need consoles? Everything we could find something else to play with, and then just hold up the stick of truth, and like, oh, how about this stick? And then it's just like coming to consoles for South Park, the stick of truth, And it was just like that was the advertisement. But it's just there are so many references and callbacks that are like, oh, I remember that, and it's the art, the actual look of it. It looks like you're actually playing an episode of the show. With like some games when they transition from being TV or a film into a game, it's obvious that the graphics are a game. Whereas because of the graphic style of the show, it is pretty much identical, which I thought was like pretty cool.
It's amazing. It's like playing an episode, really.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah. So I mean, if you like South Park, it is an easy recommend. This is like one of the best licensed games I think I've ever played.
Yeah, 100%.
You could tell that love went into this.
Yeah, they did write it, didn't they?
Yeah, because apparently I think a different, company or publisher was starting to make the game, but then it fell through. But the South Park creators themselves were like, no, we're making sure that this gets done right.
Yeah.
And then it ended up with Obsidian. So
yeah, really enjoyed that. I think that was no, I didn't do it from my RPG challenge. I did it a few years before, but it was I enjoyed it from start to finish. And it's not an easy game. I found it quite challenging.
Which class did you go for?
Oh, I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Like the like generic, like fighter mage. Not as in like, were you like throwing spells, or were you using a sword?
I suspect I went like the wizard or whatever the hell it is.
Okay, yeah, because I went
magic.
For a fighter.
Maybe I should have gone fighter. I remember it not being. I did play it on a harder setting, thinking it might need to be.
Normal.
Yeah, because I did die a few times on it.
Because actually, I found I don't know if you remember like the QTEs in the game at all, like the forced QTEs to continue like the game.
Yes,
there were some where I don't know what would have been like on the console versions, but playing with my controller on the PC, I kept struggling with them. Like because there's one point where you have to decide either between Kyle or Cartman, and if you side with Kyle and go against Cartman, there's a QTE in that fight, and I just like mashing the button, I couldn't do it, and then like, well, I'm on a PC, so when it reloaded, pull out the controller out of the PC, so the game goes, oh, keyboard controls, and it's like, okay, then just mash this the button on the keyboard first time. And so there were a couple of times in the game where if I couldn't do the QTE with the controller, breeze through it with a keyboard. So I don't know if it was just the controller or what, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Top tip for you who might play it on PC: if you struggle with QTE, unplug the controller and play with a keyboard and mouse, and then plug the controller back in after you're done, and then just carry on.
It's like Metal Gear Solid there.
Yeah, it's not intentional. I'm sure
controller and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So you're ready on how many RPGs? 3.
3. So
ahead of schedule again.
Well, I mean, so we'll hopefully. Yeah, I know we're at the end of February, and I've already been 3, but they haven't exactly been very long RPGs, so we'll see how the rest of the year goes.
Fair enough. That's knock a few shorter ones out at first, and getting some bigger ones when you've got ahead of yourself. That's probably the best way to do it.
And the 4th RPG actually has 4 in the title.
4.
And it's
Fantasy
not
Star.
Fantasy 4.
Fantasy Star.
I've already been that one.
What could it be? Is it? Fuck. I don't know. Dragon Quest 4.
Nope, I haven't played any of the Dragon Quest games, and I will not be starting with 4.
Is it Sega?
No.
Is it something like? Oh, do you know what? I was thinking, is it is it Konami?
No.
Oh, I'm fucking lost then, John. I haven't got a clue. Number 4. I'll come back to you on that one. I'll be throwing you messages now. Is it this? Is it this? Until I get it.
Well, I think I might throw up, like, when I actually start the game, I might throw up on, like, the WhatsApp group to say, like, start this, because I know I'll get a reaction from at least one person.
Intrigued. We'll see. But I'm still going to throw messages at you when an idea comes in my head.
Sure. Cool. So what else have you been playing?
I am continuing on Metaphor ReFantasio.
Oh, yes.
Really good. And Atlas turn-based RPG. I think I'm about 40 hours in. And it feels like the game's only starting, which, it's a long game when you get to that point. But love it. Definitely going to finish it. I'm kind of
Monster Hunter.
I think I can manage both. And what I think will probably happen is they'll kind of join. I'll probably finish them in like the same couple of weeks, I think. But it could be looking. I've got April as my aim.
Okay. To
finish Metaphor. So I've got 2 months and a bit, maybe. What have I got coming? I have got Atelier Yumia, I think, coming in April. So I'd like to finish at least one of them, ready for that. It's fantastic. It really is like a masterpiece for me. The music is amazing. The graphics, maybe not. If you're like coming from the Switch to the PS5, it looks amazing to me. But I love everything about it. The style is amazing, which you would expect from an Atlas game. The combat's fun. It feels really fluid. The kind of game loop of it. Basically, you tend to be working towards a date in your calendar. So you could be saying there's an event on, and you've basically got this. It feels like you've got this portion of time, and you can only do so much in that time. And so you've got to use it wisely, potentially. So you could go and do a bounty, which is like hunt a monster, or capturing a dude who's done something, who's wanted, or you could maybe look at doing a side quest for one of your characters. Or possibly even just look at grinding, but you've got to decide what you want to do, and obviously potentially if you miss one part of it, you could lock yourself out of maybe a side quest kind of thing, which I've started to learn about. But it really is like kind of for me, it's probably if it keeps on, even whether it be 80 hours, 100 hours, it's probably going to be in my top 10 games of all time. The way it feels at the moment. It's that good. The story is just, it's just really good. The characters, I think, are what really sort of kept me going at the start. It was a slow start, but now it's really kicking off. So, yeah, definitely a good. It's one of the reasons I bought a PS5. To be fair, was to play that and Monster Hunter Wilds, of course. So I'm kind of doing what I'm playing the games that I sort of bought the console for, and they're both not disappointing. So I feel pretty happy with my decision now. And if I get 200 hours out of both of them, that's not a bad start.
No,
not a bad start at all. But yeah, Metaphor will be continuing on until it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for you, John?
So I played Ghost in the Shell for the PlayStation 1.
I don't know where. I saw somebody. I watched maybe a video about it. Because I never knew they made a Ghost in the Shell game. Saw it and I watched it, and yeah, it's definitely unique, isn't it?
Yep. So playing it feels like you're playing. Actually, no, no. Sorry, it's not like playing this show like it was for South Park. Sorry. So, the game has a lot of in between the levels of things, a lot of animated cutscenes, and it has the actual voice cast of the English dub doing it as well. So, it's like a proper production.
Yeah.
The gameplay itself is that it's kind of like a mech tank kind of style game. So you are just in what's called Tashikoma, which is like a very mobile little thing that can like go around and do shooting and things like that. But that's the gameplay is you're in that thing the whole entire time, going and doing missions. It also has the capability of like going on walls and things like on the ceiling. So you literally just go wherever you want, which can be annoying if you're trying to like strafe around and a boss or something, and then suddenly you find yourself going up the wall and you're actually shooting at the floor rather than the boss. So that can be annoying at times. But yeah, it's not too long. It's only 12 levels, but every single level ends with a boss fight. So this is a game where I would probably not recommend playing it on actual hardware, because it can get frustrating where you face the boss, because there are no lives. There are no lives or continues or anything. So when you die, it's back to the beginning of the level, or actually back to the main menu screen, really. So you have to then go through the level to get to the boss. And like this was happening, say, with the second level, where I was just like going through and then like having to redo like the sewer level again and again, just have another crack at the boss. So my recommendation is save states. As in, don't just completely make the game easy for yourself. You still want a challenge, as in save state like at the beginning of the boss fight. Bear in mind, you do not have your health refilled when you go to the boss. So even if you have a save state, but you don't have that much health, it's still going to be quite a challenge going into it.
Yeah.
It's just that unless if you really want to redo levels over and over again, just so that you can learn like the boss pattern or try and get more health or whatever. So, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I played it because it's been on my playlist for a little while. I've learned about it because of YouTube. I never heard of it before. But a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, I should replay that at some point. And I was like, now that I got the PS Classic, I shoved the ISO onto it and played it that way. So
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you recommend it though?
Yeah, like I say, sadly not on real hardware. I think
only with save states.
Yes, I think that's the best way to enjoy the game is with save states at the beginning of the boss fights.
Okay. I'd probably emulate that. I think if I was to play it, I probably won't though. I don't think I can't see it. I can't see it. But I like the the film. Film was great. I don't know. Maybe I will one day. Who knows?
Yourself?
Oh, what my last one? My last one is I'd mentioned I've been playing Tiny Glade, which is like the sandbox game. You build these little pretty villages. Yeah. No, I dropped off of it, John, because it was consuming every all my gaming time. I would be like, for a week, I think 1 week, I literally went from, I just spent every night doing 4 or 5 hours. And by the end of the week, I had this lovely castle town. It was amazing. But I was like, this is all I've done all week. I was like, I can't do it. And then I'd realized I bought what would you call it? An early access game on Steam a while ago called Foundation.
Okay.
Which is like a settlers kind of game. I think maybe I mentioned it before. I may not have. And it's basically, they've basically finished it and updated everything. And my word, is it a game? So it's, if you imagine, maybe it's very settlers, a combination of a bit of Age of Empires in there. But you're building a town. You're constructing like a lot of these little loops where, you know, you've got to feed your people. So you start off with berries, you start off with hunting posts, getting meat in, and then you're going to get more advanced. You're going to maybe have a wheat farm, you're going to have a mill, and then you're going to have a baker, and you've got all these little chains. And the idea is you kind of build it up, and amazing, absolutely amazing. But what feels different, and this feels different from any other sim strategy game I've ever played, is that everything feels really organic. So the way everything grows feels really natural. Like, you're genuinely, these little dudes that you've got in your town, they're like little, in my head, they're real people in my computer. And it just amazing. I don't know, I it's hard to describe, but everything feels just so I don't know what you call it. You know, Age of Empires, everything's blocks, it's squares. Sure. Civilization, it's all, you know, these kind of I don't know what you'd even call them, tiles. But this just feels like, you know, it helps that you've almost got like a paintbrush tool to like paint areas in residential, etc. But I've made this town. It just looks so pretty as well, because you've got the woods, and your kind of houses grow into the woods, and it's unreal. It's like the game that if I'd have had 20 years ago, I would have stayed up till 5 a.m. playing it and not going to school. It's the game I think I always wanted. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think it is definitely a game that I'm gonna probably play for. I don't know. I might never. It's that sort of game. But Age of Empires 2 was for me. I played it for a decade, and I'd still play it now if I think if I had people to play it online with. But this is there's not combat really. But as for making a town, like a town simulator or a village simulator, it's second to none. And I've played a lot of them because that is a type of game that I've always liked. And yeah, definitely well worth getting. It's not expensive. And I even bought the little shitty £3.99. They released a DLC and it's basically just cosmetics. I never, ever buy cosmetics. But I wanted to support the devs. They are an indie dev. And I thought, do you know what? I like this game so much. I want cosmetic shit anyway. And anything, And if it's on Game Pass or something, download it. Because if it might be on Xbox potentially with it now being released, because there's a lot of crossover there. But I highly recommend it. And it's not too... I was going to say it's not too heavy on the computer, but it is since the update. Because with a lot of people...
Upgrades.
Yeah, all the dudes have their own routine. You can follow a dude, he goes to work, does his job, he goes home, or he goes to the market, picks up some food and fucks off home. And you can literally watch all of these little people. Yeah. So some crazy bit of programming there. So
they've all got their own. So that's
why names. They've got their own names, and they've got their own little house that they've built, and and I rip them off with high taxes.
You bastard!
Because I only want to pay for my fancy castle. So fantastic. So I've had a really good sort of few weeks of gaming, John. To be honest with you, I've really been really enjoying, and I've just tried to give each of those games as much time as I can. while Monster Hunter's only just come out. But yeah, Metaphor is a game I would play like an hour and a half a night at most, and that works nicely for me. And Foundation is something, if I do play, I'm going to play it for 2 or 3 hours.
Sure.
If not more.
A nice, Monster Hunter easy session game.
Has probably disrupted the balance that I've created.
Well, we've got like a couple of big games that you're playing as well, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how you juggle those three.
Probably not well.
Not well. I don't think it'll go well.
Anything more for you, John?
Well, we'll leave it there. I think we'll move on to our game of the show.
I think was this one I chose?
Yes,
it was. It's Strikers, 1945. I think arcade originally. Came out on the Sega Saturn, and it's probably come out on everything. Probably PlayStation 1, and available on just about everything now. As I found out, I bought it on the PS5 and Steam. Me and John both bought it at Steam at the same time. Mm-hmm. I installed it, but I never got to it. So it was only a couple of pounds anyway. But it's a bit more expensive on the PS5. But I wanted to play it on my sofa, John. So it is a shmup, a shoot 'em up, and I'd never played it before. I'm guessing you hadn't either.
Nope.
And I've been through a bit of a shmup kind of obsession.
We've talked about before on previous episodes.
Yeah. And I will start by saying this is bloody hard.
I mean, okay, why did you pick the game in the first place?
Because I like the box art.
Okay, well, yep.
Being honest, no, I'd heard it was good. It was one of the games to get on the Sega Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the good games, and I'm obviously quite into my Japanese Sega Saturn, so I thought I'd give it a go. Not disappointed. It's actually one of the best looking shmups I've seen.
It does look good.
The animations, and my favorite one was when you kind of almost come up through the clouds, and the way they've done the animation. And the rocket as well. Absolutely amazing. And I just felt like it was way ahead of its time. Mm-hmm. It just looks, all shmups look good though, don't they? The kind of sprite work and everything is always really good. But this just feels
that era.
Maybe that's why it's so sort of loved and has such a cult following, and because it had a few sequels. But I found it really hard, and I feel like I'm fairly experienced with shmups now. And I have played some really hard ones, but this felt harder. I suppose I played more bullet hells, where you're just fucking literally.
This is a bullet hell game.
But I found this less hectic. So to me, there's less bullets, but I found it harder.
So for those who don't know, when you start the game, you have a choice of 6 different planes, I think, to pick from.
Yeah, it's about 6, isn't it?
And that will affect the game overall. So, because they have different... they all shoot, but as in like the way they shoot, they get powered up or leveled up. And also the bomb they have is different as well. So, for example, because I have beaten the game with 4 of the planes.
Oh, wow.
And then when I went for the 5th, I couldn't beat the game because I was relying on the bombs for the final boss, and the bombs aren't as strong. So I was getting running through my lives before I could actually take out the final boss. But you may sound impressed. It's because the reason I was able to beat the game is that I changed the options of the game. So I played it on. I did play it on the difficulty is done as a number base, like 1 to 9, is it, or 1 to 7, something like that. So I played it, I think, on 5, which is the default. So the game starts with 2 lives, and I think a couple of continues or something. I then, over the course of the game, then kicked it up to having 9 lives and unlimited continues, which...
Sorry, John.
No,
Carry on.
yeah. So because after stage 4, when you have to choose continue. So when you use continue stages 1 to 4, you start from exactly where you were, and so you just carry on. After stage 4, if you have to use continue, you get kicked back to the beginning of the level. So this isn't like where you can just use unlimited credits just to get through the entire game. You have to be able to get through each level with those lives that you have, because otherwise you're just back to the beginning of that stage. So I made it far easier by doing those changes to the settings, but it wasn't like I made the game like piss easy, because you still had to be able to get through the stage. Otherwise, you have to redo it all. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm guessing you didn't change the settings, and that's why you kind of
Mine. This is where I know our game so was slightly different.
Mhm.
Because I played it on the console, because it didn't have a number system. It had names for each of the difficulty, and
Okay.
particularly as I progressed through and I kind of lowered my expectations and went down. There are 2 bottom ones which I didn't play. Oh, I did actually. I did play one of them in the end just to try it. When the kind of what I class as the very easy mode was called baby mode, but there was like I'm guessing a newcomer kind of shmup mode called monkey mode.
Okay.
And I did try baby mode, and it was weird, because it was like there's barely any bullets, and it was, and you would shoot like some of the bombers were you need to give them a really good kind of pounding to get them to sort of blow up, like one shot, boom, and it was amazing. Because I played with, I wanted to finish it with the Spitfire, because being British and all, John. But in the end, I found that what I call the default plane, I think it's like the P41, was the best.
Yeah, I think that one was pretty good, because I think the Spitfire might be the one that I actually struggled with, because
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to find the game so I can see, because every time you beat the game with a different plane, you get an achievement for said plane. So I'm just here we go, Strikers. So clear the game with the P-38 Lightning, P-51 Mustang. Oh, I did it with the Spitfire Mark 7, so I did do it with that. Okay. So I did do it with the Spitfire. So it was a different one I couldn't do it with. Yeah, sorry.
Right. So yeah, I was looking there, seeing if I was looking at the planes as well. Yeah, I found Spitfire was the difficult one for me, but I finished it with 2 other ones. I think they were both the American-y planes. But yeah, it was good. It was. I think that would have been a right coin buster in its day. You would have taken all your pocket money, and you'd have got nowhere.
Especially if you had to restart the stage.
I know. It's a tough game, as a lot of shmups are. But I think it just looked great, and I did like the more grounded theme. I know there's like aliens and fucking space crabs and shit in it,
Yeah,
but I do like that theme maybe than a more overly sci-fi one. But definitely more my cup of tea, and really enjoyed it. Not my favorite shmup.
No, I mean it was enjoyable, but I'm glad that you could do unlimited credits. Otherwise, I think I would have probably
raged.
Yeah.
I definitely had a few moments where I went kind of like squeezed the control pad and was like, I'm going to put this down before I break something, and sort of went back to it another night. But yeah, it was even though I bought it twice, I might have to play the Steam version now to see if there is any differences, and maybe we'll have to have a co-op on it, John, because you found out there was co-op mode, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I suspect not cross-play, but I'll just get on Steam and we'll give it a blast.
So I'm curious to see, do they actually change anything about the stages themselves? Not as in like different areas, but as in like more enemies or anything, or is it just literally the same amount, but it's just 2 of you?
I reckon I reckon they won't put many more. If they do put more enemies, it won't be many because that screen can be quite full anyway.
True, yeah.
And you kind of, it's going to feel really claustrophobic. But then maybe that's what they're going for.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to give it a go and see how it works. But would you play it again, or would you play the sequel?
I didn't know there was a sequel, but yeah, I mean, like I say,
there's two.
Okay. I'll play again. Like I'll also try and finish it with some of the other plays I haven't done yet.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a rinse on Steam just to see if it's different, see if it runs. Well, it ran pretty well, to be fair. I didn't have any problems with frame rate or no. Control again. I think I need to get an arcade stick. I've got one, but I have mentioned before it's got its problems.
Yes,
because it still stinks. It's still in my car boot.
Still in your car boot.
Still in the car boot. I'll take a photo of it for you tomorrow, John. Show you where it lives. And I still don't want to take it in the house. I might just put it in the bin.
No, you're sure it could be salvaged?
Do you want it?
No, but I'm quick to salvage.
Exactly. Maybe I'll. I haven't got the heart to sell it because I don't want someone else to have the problem. It's a bit like Jumanji or something, just sending this cursed nightmare.
Take it apart and just like
I have. That's all I can think about is setting it on fire to change the smell. I've taken it apart. I've cleaned each part with everything but what would you call it? I probably bleach.
Yeah, I mean, unless if you could just find some kind of like not perfume, for example, but something that smells nice smelling.
Lynx Africa.
But it's not going to damage the components and things, something that will change the smell profile.
Yeah, it's the outer plastic. So if I was to take the board out, I could smash Lynx Africa on it, or bleach it, Lynx Africa, and maybe that'll do it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I suppose I need to deal with it. I took it apart in work and cleaned it with the stuff I had in work, which is some pretty strong chemical cleaners. But I don't know. And I could use it for Street Fighter and stuff as well because it's a kind of like a multi one. It'll work on PC and Switch, so I could get some use out of it.
Oh, there is. I don't know if you've seen or not, or if you want to play this stuff on Steam. But are you aware of Humble Bundle?
I am. I've bought many things that I've never played from it.
Same. Have you seen their latest bundle?
No. Is it a Shmup one?
No, it is.
Is it a beat 'em up fighting?
Street Fighter / Capcom one. So because I picked it up because you get Street Fighter 4 and 5 for free. Well, I say for free as part of the bundle. You get the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. You get Capcom Arcade Stadium 1 and 2. So there's going to be a bunch of the Capcom style shmups will be part of it. So I thought that might interest you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely getting into my Street Fighter. I bought Street Fighter 2 Zero or Alpha for the Sega Saturn the other day. Definitely liking my I like a simple game with depth.
Sure.
So something that you could play it fairly. You could button mash, but if you wanted to, put that extra level of kind of complexity and stuff into it.
I put a link in the private chat of StreamYard.
Yeah.
So it's 16 quid, but it's
Humble bundles are always great offers, great deals, and you're helping with charity, if I remember rightly, isn't it? So it's a good thing. You're buying games and doing good.
I mean, they have made it a bit worse because before because it was support charity, support the devs, support Humble Bundle, and there were 3 toggles so you could pick how much each one got. So you could just give all of it to charity if you wanted to. Then Humble Bundle got taken over, and now you can't do that, and there is only a certain percentage that can go to charity. Yay! So it's not.
Sounds like classic
capitalism.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. there is amount going to charity, which is good. It's just that you can no longer stiff Humble Bundle, for example, and give it all to the devs and to charity.
Or I'll definitely have a look at that because yeah, definitely that definitely sounds like a good deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I think the Street Fighter content probably alone, but then also playing the Shmups, there's probably like 1942, 1943, for example. I think as an part of the Capcom arcade bundles. So.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that because you do occasionally. Normally, I've got a friend of mine who does send me links quite often when he sees something that I'd like on there because I always forget to check it. But yeah, so I've got you now to send me Humble Bundles. Yeah, fantastic. That was really short talking about Strikers, really.
I mean, the thing is,
there's not a lot to say, is there?
It's Shmup. So, to my knowledge, there are not different pathways through the game. But looking at the achievements, I haven't got all the ones for various bosses. So I feel like there are certain stages where you can have different bosses that appear. Like there's, I think it might be stage 10, or is it 10 or 12 stages in total? The one that is not the last or before last, but before that. It is
second to last.
Something like that. Anyway, but yeah, I think because it has because each stage starts off with a flashing kind of image of what the boss shape is, whereas this one has different shapes coming and going. So it's saying it's randomized. But yeah, I haven't got all of those, so I don't know if. I don't think there are different paths.
No, I didn't notice anything.
Yeah, so.
Maybe there's triggers or something that are really, really sort of obscure or something like
Potentially.
that.
Potentially, I'll have to go look at a guide.
Yes, that's probably the best thing, or watch it on YouTube, possibly.
But okay, well, and we've talked about the game, but do we actually recommend it to people?
For the amount we paid, definitely.
Definitely.
Well, I was looking at getting a Sega Saturn copy, looking at £40-50. I think it may be a bit harder to recommend for that much.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay that for it.
I think if I see it for a good deal, I might pick it up because it'd be nice to have the original, but I'm not quite so impulsive to buy it now like I would be. But it's a good game. It is a good game.
For the price, great game.
Yeah, but I definitely had more fun with something like Dan Mako Unlimited 3, even though it's maybe, I suppose, I think that is more for newbies, so maybe that's why I like it more. But yeah, I'd recommend it because you can get it cheap. But yeah, just don't overpay for it, I suppose, is the only thing I can say.
Yeah, like I say, you can get on modern consoles and Steam, and it was cheap on those, or on Steam at least, because it was on sale, I think, when we got it. So
yeah,
and if you buy on Steam, then you can, I assume you can do remote play for co-op, so you can play with a friend, and they don't even need to own a copy of it.
Even better. Better. And yeah, I suppose that's it for this episode, John.
Yes.
We'll be back hopefully a bit sooner. We can catch up with our schedule. We've already decided on our game. It's up to you if you want to tell everyone what it is.
Well, I mean, we're not playing it on the original hardware. We're playing it on Steam. But just to give a little hint, it is a Dreamcast original game. I don't think it's ported anywhere else. So besides Steam.
Yeah. So we'll see you for that one, and you can see what it is then. And thank you for listening and watching, or whatever way you're doing it. And we'll see you again next month.
Awesome. Okay. Take care, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.